guys, I'm Sandy. If you're new here, I do crafts. If you're joining me, thanks for hanging out with me again. So today I'm going to be talking about a lot because it's been a long time, but not a ton because I still don't have my sewing machine set up. I still don't have like my craft area set up. We've been trying to get all the furniture we can that like people are getting rid of, but it's the wells run a little dry, so we had to do a last minute run to IKEA. And yeah, so hopefully now that we have like some actual stuff getting set up, I think my husband's in the other room building it right now. Yeah, so hopefully now that we actually have some stuff set up, I'll be able to really get going and start sewing because I miss sewing so much. I miss it. Also, other housekeeping notes: if you hear a bird chirping or a dog running around, that's just life. That's how it is. So, in terms of knitting, I have actually finished some things, sort of. So I haven't blocked these. I found out I'm going to be an aunt again. So I found this Bare Necessities layette by Debbie Bliss on Love Crafts. And oh my goodness, it's so cute. So this is a little hat. And this was really easy to make. It seemed down the end, but honestly, I probably could have done it in the round. But my goodness, it's adorable. It's so cute. And so yeah, the whole theme, the layette pattern comes with this, a blanket, there's 2 sweaters and a crocheted teddy bear, but I decided to just do the hat and the sweater and the blanket because I love my brother, but let's not get too crazy here. No, I think that's enough. And it's so cute. This is the blanket, so it's done except for all the ends to weave in. And then I'm going to block it, obviously cut out all the threads, and then in these little areas you put a little nose here and 2 French knots for eyes. So it looks like little teddy bear eyes. This is so stinking cute. But it is hands down the hardest thing I've ever made in my entire life. It's got, first off, the color, and I'm not great at color work, so it's not the best, but it's functional. This is a Moth cable, and then my first time ever doing baubles and cables. It's got this twisted stitch. Like, this has everything, and it's hard, but it's adorable. And once I get the little faces on with the matching little teddy bear hat, I mean, it's going to be so cute. And I'm also doing a sweater that matches the this motif, and there's the other one's like kind of a varsity jacket, which is one little teddy bear. So I decided to do the more matchy ones. So I have it on the needles. Again, it's a lot, but now that I've done it so many times, it's a 25 row repeating chart. And once you start to kind of get the vibe of it, it goes quick. And this is also the first time I've ever done something in the yarn that it recommends. So it's the Debbie Bliss Cashmerino. It's, I believe, 55% merino, 12% cashmere, and the rest is acrylic. So I'm not the biggest fan of acrylic, but when it comes to babies, I mean, you know, nobody wants to be a new mom. Like, you're already doing laundry every 30 seconds, so do you really want to do more? And the thing is, I know my sister-in-law and my brother would hand wash because they're very big outdoor enthusiasts, so they wear a lot of wool anyway because Canada's cold. And yeah, but I know they would, but at the same time, I feel like for this one, I might make another little set for when they like go hiking or they go, maybe I'll make them all in matching hats. It'll be really cute. But yeah, so that's that. The pattern's really well written. I do like this yarn. It's soft, it's nice. Yeah, like, it's just smooth sailing, but again, it's a lot of work because you have like the Moth cables, the baubles, the everything. It's just an astronomical amount of work, but it's well-written pattern, everything's going fine, and it's turning out. So, something to be proud of. And hopefully whenever he wears it, he'll feel like he's having a little hug from me. But just to kind of break up some of the monotony of that, for some odd reason, I decided I'm going to get into crochet. I don't know how this happened, but I have not been able to stop crocheting. So I bought this yarn ages ago. It's the Catania by Schachenmayr. It's 100% cotton. It's a sport weight. Just really good crochet yarn. So I had this. I've tried making granny squares out of it, but for some odd reason, they just wouldn't lay flat. They wouldn't puff up. or they would puff up and be really weird even after blocking. So I found this pattern in a magazine called 100 Days of Crafts, which is a really intriguing magazine. So it's multi-crafts, but they've set it up that like if you have 100 days, you do this day 1 and 2, 3 and 4, like, and it's, I mean, I love a multi-craft magazine because as somebody who does a lot of crafts, it's just nice having something and seeing how things can kind of interplay and how you can combine skills. However, sometimes the stuff tends to veer, like my craft attitude tends to be really utilitarian. Like I like things to have purpose. I like them to be usable and useful, and yeah. So for me, the kind of vibe of, I don't know, just anyway, yeah, like decorations sometimes that are, I don't like things with sayings on them to decorate. It's just not my style. So a lot of stuff in these like multi-craft magazines, I'm kind of like, ooh, you know, but anyway, this blanket I found, it's really interesting because each square has both a knitted and a crocheted instruction. So I'm starting with all the crochet ones. So I have this guy here, and then this one. I'm never sure which is the right or the wrong side of crochet, so I usually just go with whatever one I like better. Well, I think I like this one better. To be fair, these look kind of exactly the same. But yeah, so this one, then this one definitely has a right or wrong side because it's got little bobbles. It's hard to see because it's black. But the other side's just flat. So this one definitely has a right side. And then this guy, which I found other explanations for this stitch. This is supposed to be an alpine stitch. I found other explanations for it on Pinterest, and I do not think I did this right. But I like the way it looks, so I'm just going to leave it. And then this one is the one I'm currently working on, which is long and short stitch. So yeah, so all up, I mean, I'm a bit concerned about how these will piece together, because especially this black one, I did probably about 10 extra rows, and I still don't feel like it's enough. Like, I don't know. But then, we'll see. I tend to be of the opinion that blocking will fix everything, for better or worse. At the end of the day, too, I want it more like just a house blanket, so I'm not super concerned if it's a little puckery in some areas, because blankets tend to get pretty beat up in my house anyway. But yeah, so I'm loving these. I love the way the colors are together. Like, I remember buying these because I found like, you know, when they have those things on Pinterest where they like find a picture and take the colors out of the picture. So that's sort of what I did here. And then I have a couple more colors in this as well. I have like a dark gray, I think. Actually, I think with the dark gray, this might be all the colors. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I'll see how it turns out. I mean, realistically, I know the pattern works because I saw one made, but I'm also like, if you're pumping out that much stuff, do you really, like, how well can you trust the pattern if you need to pump out like 18, 19 different crafts or even 20 different crafts? Because they say you can make this in like 2-3 days, but I don't think that's, to be fair, somebody could. If you just had like, you know, but the average person is only sitting a couple hours a night. So I don't know. But anyway, I like the concept for the magazine. I think it's a really interesting idea of just like splitting things into it. I especially like the Christmas ones because I think that's cool that you can plan like 100 days out from Christmas. But yeah, we'll see how this works. In any case, I think it'll be cozy, and that's what we want. And I'm also intrigued to see, because you never see knitting and crochet together really in the same projects. It's always kind of one or the other. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how they lay out together. Another crochet project I'm working on. This is something I've always wanted to do, but for some reason or another, I've never done it. I've always wanted to make a temperature blanket. So if you don't know, a temperature blanket is pretty much you get a bunch of different colors, however many you want. Some people do it like they do yellow for a sunny day, or like gray for a overcast day, or like blue for rain, you know, and then you can do it just based on like looking outside, or like white for snow, and look outside, kind of see, you know, what's going on. I've even seen an Australian girl did it based on the fire warnings that day, and I thought that was funny. But mine I got, the pattern is just temperature blanket. It's crocheted. It's by Wool and Hook, I believe. And it, yeah, it's really cute. So I like that it's different than just having like knit 1 row every day or knit 2 rows every day. Like it's actually got these little like waves that are really cool. And yeah, so it's just a little bit different. She did kind of her own color packs. So she does a winter, spring, summer, fall. Those are the seasons. Yeah, so she did those, and this is kind of my approximation of the winter one. So she used an acrylic yarn. I wanted wool because it gets cold here and I just like to be snuggled up in wool. And we don't really have like a good wool blanket for really, really cold nights. So yeah. The cool thing too is the way that she weaves in the ends. You just kind of crochet over them, and then once it's blocked, I can just cut those out. So it's really good. This is the Drops Karisma yarn that I actually had to order from Germany because I couldn't find anywhere in Ireland that had the colors I wanted in stock in like the quantities I needed them. So yeah, so thank you European Union for letting me order this from Germany and not have to pay a bunch of customs fees. But yeah, so it's looking like this so far. I haven't had to repeat a color day yet, so I think it's kind of naive to hope that that'll never happen, because it's gonna happen sometime, especially in the summer when things get hot. But yeah, you know, so hopefully I can keep the momentum up on this, because I have a tendency to start projects and never finish them. But I really want to keep this one up, mostly because I want to be snuggled up under this blanket. It's like, yeah. But I'm really liking the colors. I'm liking the pattern. So yeah, and apparently I'm really liking crochet because I've just been doing it lots. For embroidery, I have actually finished something. So I finished my summer sampler. This one's by Kiriki Press, which is where I get most of my samplers, because I love that they do this practice the stitch and then actually get to apply the stitch to kind of really get it set in your mind. So I'm not 100% happy, to be perfectly honest, on how these turned out. My petals, this is my first shot at Woven Picot, so I should be nicer to myself because it's a hard stitch, it's learning something new, and the fact that it looks this good, I need to give myself some credit. What I'm really impressed with is I think my satin stitch has gotten a lot better. This needle weaving was the first time I did that too. So yeah, it was also the first time I did couching, come to think of it. So it's yeah, it's really good. I like this. It's cute. I have it hanging on the wall, even though it's not seasonal. We just have a lot of random nails on the wall in our apartment. But yeah, just like a lot of really random nails. So I'm trying to put an embroidery sampler on all of them. Until we kind of, yeah, we want to unpack and then sort of see what we want to do. But we may never unpack. Might just live in boxes. So when I finish one embroidery sampler, I like to pop another. Also Kiriki Press. I have literally every single one she's ever made. She used to have a sampler club where you got a new one every month, but she stopped that, which I'm very sad about because it was my favorite. Like, Sampler Club and Wine Club were my favorite subscriptions, and they both canceled themselves in the same month. And I was just like, are you kidding me? It was really sad. But this one's the Moth one. So yeah, you know, I've done the antlers so far. I've done the outlining. I'm not gonna lie to you, long and short stitch is my least favorite stitch ever. So it's long and short. So I'm hoping, because this is so much long and short, maybe if I do it, I won't hate it as much. I don't know. I always feel like because it's so kind of loosey-goosey and you can, like, it's very intuitive, I always feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, I want stricter rules, like a French knot is a French knot is a French knot. Whereas this feels a bit more interpretive. But it is such a cute design, and I really want it on my wall. Like, look how cute that is. And I'm scared of the turkey work as well, because I've never done that. But look, it's learning new things. I did the woven picots. They turned out great, so objectively great. I still think they could have been better, but alas, who actually 100% loves everything they've made all the time? I think we always look for flaws in the crafts that we do, because you know what's there, you've seen it. So yeah. As for buying things, it's not starting a new hobby, because I used to do beads. They used to be like my primary craft, to the point where I would just go in the morning, wake up, have breakfast, go sit like on the floor in the guest room, because I was super into perler beads especially. And there was an iron there, so that's where we had the iron set up. So like I would just sit on the floor of my guest room, I would have all my beads, and like it got to the point where my family called it the bead room. Like it was just accepted that that's what this room is for now. So I love beads. Like beading did used to be my primary craft, but despite all that time, I never actually went into like the stitches. So kind of the most common one is called peyotes. There's two types of peyote stitches. There's even an odd count. And then, you have like brick stitch, and I don't know, there's probably hundreds of them, and I'll never be able to learn all of them, even if I try, but try I will. So yeah, so just like seed bead techniques. And I figured for some odd reason it had just stuck in my head as something. And now that we're back in Dublin, there's a really good bead shop here. So I'm like, I could just go buy beads. And I think I was having like a sad week, so I wanted to buy stuff. So anyway, I went down there, took myself on a little date, got the extras of my Christmas shopping finished, kind of did what I needed, and I bought for one bracelet, and this ended up being my summer missing, because I've started using, oh my god, I started using them. So I got these for one bracelet, so like a rose gold and a burgundy, so this is become even count. And then for my odd count, I'm going to do this kind of gold and almost like a citrine color. So that's going to be, because I wanted them, like, it's easier to learn if you have stripes, but I'm not really like a big stripe person, so I wanted them to kind of be like, I don't know, I feel like burgundy is kind of like clear rose gold maybe. And then I obviously got other stuff like clasps. And I got this one for the even count. And then thread and beading needles. I don't know. This is the biggest improvement, because I used to use, those like flosser things. I would just grab a couple of them and use those for beading needles. These are so much easier. I mean, we are stepping it up technique wise. So yeah, so I found a Craftsy class, because I still have Craftsy, and I started. So, okay, I don't think all up it looks bad. I'm just going to go there. I think especially for a first attempt, it looks pretty good. However, my biggest issue with this Craftsy class is they don't teach you how to change threads. So it's like, she's only making beaded beads, but it's like, I don't want to make a beaded bead. I want to make a bracelet. And I've got to the point where literally like, I'm over halfway through, and as we were unpacking, I found like my big blue craft book. It's I'm looking at it right now, The Handmade Life, and they have beading in there, and I looked up and they actually show you how to change threads. I've done it wrong, so I think I'm gonna go take this apart and redo it. I think this is a great first attempt, don't get me wrong. I think it could have been so much worse. Where's my camera? Yeah, I think it could have been a lot worse. I think it could have been a disaster. But like, if I were to finish this, it would look good. It would be a good piece of jewelry, but I'd prefer to look a little more luxe. So yeah, like you can see right there, especially when I changed threads, it did that and that. I mean, it's one of those things, every time I look at it, I'm just gonna see it. So I might as well take it apart and try it again and really learn. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. I have my sweater I'm knitting as well. It's on a lifeline right now because I needed the cable to use my needles for the blanket. So that has had nothing. Honestly, next steps for me for crafts, I really want my friends to stop having babies. I think last year I made like 9 baby sets. Not all with the blanket. The blanket I just do for nieces and nephews. But for my friends, I do usually like a sweater and a hat. And I love babies. I'm so happy for everyone. Well, I love the idea of babies personally. I prefer not to be around them, but you know, I like the idea of babies. I like the idea that my friends are happy having these families, but I just want to finish my sweater. I'm so sick of knitting baby things. So yeah, so hopefully this year I can have a bit of a break from knitting baby things and actually like make myself a sweater. I want to do a lot more sewing. I want to use up a lot of the fabric I have. Honestly, unpacking has made me never want to buy anything again. I say after just talking about buying beads, but they're small, so it's okay. But no, I do want to get a lot more organized, especially now that I have the opportunity to have a dedicated space just for my crafts. So yeah, looking at my box mountain, and yeah, I want to just use up what I have and be able to, again, go through projects slower. I want to be more considerate about what I have. I think I've really determined what I want out of my clothing. So, you know, maybe it means doing mock-ups and actually fitting things, and yeah, like I think I just need to be more considerate because I have so many clothes and yet I hate them all. Like I'm never happy when I get dressed. So I think a lot of that has to do with I need to be better with fitting. I need to be better with choosing what I actually want and what will look good on me. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to craft wise. Hopefully this will get up today. If not, it'll be tomorrow because I have to link everything and still do a lot of work. And there's of course going to be a blog post that matches it. So yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you found this entertaining and like this kind of what I've been doing this week, because I know that the reviews, when I do like one thing, it gets better views, but at the same time it feels like for me sitting there making something every week just because I like have to. First off, it's stressful. It gives me mad anxiety, and secondly, it's starting to feel really fast fashion-y, and I mean, do I really need a new piece of clothing every week? I mean, I sort of do because I'm kind of redoing my wardrobe, but at the same time, I'd rather, like, I'm not running around naked. I don't need a new piece of clothing every week. I'd rather considerably put good pieces into my wardrobe that will last me and, you know, last me for a while. And if I ever fall out of love with them, I can donate them and they'll last the next person who buys them a really long time too. So yeah, so I'll see you hopefully next week. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're working on. And if there's any other weird craft that I should take up, let me know that too, because I'm really not going to stop shopping. It's not going to happen. Bye.